Doctors of Reddit. What is something that you wish everyone knew about their body? This one is more about medication. Antibiotics only work against bacteria. They are not some kind of wonder potion that cures anything. And they should not always be given. Please stick to your prescription the doctor gives you. Even if you already feel better. Don't just stop unless the doctor says you can stop. A lot of medication needs to be taken according to the prescription in order for it to be effective. Because you build up the doses to an effective level. Stopping or not sticking to it really decreases effectivity. Tell us what drugs and alcohol you're on. We aren't gonna tell the cops. We aren't gonna lecture you. But it might change the anesthesia I give you. Some stuff I give you might kill you. If you drink a 30-pack a day. Tell me. Ejaculating blood happens to most people at least once in their lives, and in 99% of cases it resolves without taking any action within a week. It doesn't even warrant a doctor visit. Peeing blood, for both SSs, is a serious medical emergency and you should immediately go to the ER. People think it's the other way around. How to eat healthy. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. Especially the teenagers who I take care of. Sometimes I will ask them what's a healthy food your doctor wants you to eat. Rarely do I get a right answer. I feel like the internet has so many fad diets. And family members rarely cook. If you could keep track of the assorted parts you've had removed or added, that'd be very helpful. I'm not saying you need to know whether your fund application was a Nissan or a door. But if you're complaining about belly pain, it would be nice to know that the last time you had belly pain they took out your gallbladder, appendix, sigmoid, colon. And if you've ever had something implanted, and they gave you a little card, that's not warranty information. That tells us if you're going to explode if you go in an MRI. Bring it. Otherwise it will be Googled. That there is a wide range of normal. Don't be embarrassed by your body. Having said that, if you are concerned about anything, ask your doctor. We have generally heard it all before. And trust me, we have, nearly always, seen it all before. Maybe you have something that has been bothering you for ages, but you were too scared or embarrassed to ask about it. Just ask. It might be nothing and you have been stressing about it for no reason. And if not, then you are at least one step closer to getting it fixed. No one can help if they don't know. There are no stupid questions. So ask away. I'm always amazed when I have been asked about something that has been bothering a patient for years and years. But they were too embarrassed, scared to bring it up. Most of the time, it is nothing, a completely normal body function feature. Other times, it is something that should have been discussed right away. You know your body best. So speak up. Don't wait for the doctor to ask the right question. Some people seem to think that if you act healthy for a bit, it'll make up for being a wreck. There are so many things wrong with this. Just one example. Antioxidants are like gas for your car. You can store up a certain amount of vitamins, but your tank can only hold so much. If you binge and overfill your tank, it doesn't do anything, you excrete it out as waste. And you can't expect to go the next several months without gas just because you tried to overload it before. You're going to still need to get gas. Same goes for your fruits and veggies. Had someone tell me he went vegetarian for a few weeks, which meant he was done for the year. He was dead serious. Had a patient at risk for heart failure try to insist that if she stayed away from salt entirely for X days, weeks, she should be able to have her fill of McDonald's fries and ramen. Had a smoker argue that if he stopped for some time, he should be able to smoke freely for a while. With some digging, stopping turned out to mean a couple less cigarettes a day. My phone is acting up, so if this has already been posted I apologize. But women, please do not use soap or douching products inside your vagina. It has a delicate pH balance and this is how you get yeast infections. Wash your labia, but do not clean internally. The vagina is self-cleaning just like your eyeballs. Do you wash your eyeballs? Number. Do you wash your face? The vagina is self-cleaning. Just like your eyeballs. Do you wash your eyeballs? Number. This is a great way to explain it. Don't do DIY surgery or hold off on reporting things that are obvious warning signs. Don't be the guy who tried to remove his skin cancer with a knife. Doctors hate him. They really do. You need some kind of exercise. Doesn't matter how you feel right now. Sitting for 12 to 16 hours a day will have negative consequences. Your kidneys and liver cheerfully do all the toxin elimination you'll ever need. Cleanses and other detoxifying products are bullshit woo and a waste of money. The people who sell them are predators who only care about your money becoming theirs. Type 2 diabetes is more serious than most people realize. I work as a doctor in hemodialysis and most of them are due to diabetic nephropathy. It also affects your eyes, nerves, immune system, etc. Simple life changes can help you, but Noon seems to care. I even lost 9 kilograms myself because I had a family history of diabetes and to be healthy. Edit. Wow, thanks for the silver stranger. I didn't expect this comment to be big, but please take care of yourselves people, because it is really sad for us doctors to see people get ill because of a preventable illness. Also, there are lots of good subreddits for people trying to make a lifestyle change. You and your body deserve better. Edit 2. Changed diabetes to type 2 diabetes for clarification. Changed easy to simple. How to check for skin cancer. If you see any moles or anything that are A. Asymmetrical, B. Border, odd borders, like they're jagged or something, C. Color different colors, D. Diameter grows, E. Evolve, well, evolves. Go get it checked out. It might be skin cancer. There is no cure for cancer as it is traditionally thought about. Cancer is a class of many very different diseases, each with very specific causes, i.e. some molecule that went wrong allowing a cell to multiply out of control. Even within the same type of cancer, i.e. lung cancer, there are many types of lung cancer, such as small cell, large cell, squamous cell, etc. Even within the same subtype of cancer, there can be different molecular mechanisms that caused it, requiring different approaches to treatment. Looking for the cure for cancer is like looking for the cure for disease. That administering CPR compressions ASAP is one of the greatest indicators of successful outcomes. Where the orifice each gender urinates through really is. Antibiotics are not some magic cure for every pain in your body, nor for the flu or common cold. Never ever boil breast milk. In my country there is a popular belief that breast milk jaundice in newborns can be treated by boiling one's breast milk. But by doing this you destroy all the nutrients and it basically becomes as nutritious as water is. Do not give honey to children below the age of 1. Do not rub your child with rubbing alcohol as to lower his fever. Baby wipes don't substitute daily bath showers. Yes, I am a pediatrician. This is going to sound really basic, but I wish my patients would know what meds they are on when they come to the hospital. At least once a day comes somebody in who goes, yeah, I take 8 pills in the morning, 3 in the evening, and 4 at lunch, but don't ask me which. You're a doctor. You should know. I beg of you. Before going to a doctor that has never seen you before, write your meds, dosis and all on a piece of paper. Edit. I was on shift and just now noticed that this blew up. Just to clarify, I work in Germany on the internal medicine ward. I can only see patients record if they were in my hospital or in the neighboring hospital, otherwise I have to call their family doc, who may or may not be at all times available. I mostly just send a family member home to bring the goodies bag so that we can go over them, but as you can imagine, that takes a lot of time. Thank you for the silvers. I shall treasure them forever. I'm a vet, but I'm sure some doctors will have come across this too. Amputated limbs do not grow back. I've had far too many people asking how long it will take for their pet's amputated limb to grow back. So I'm assuming a few doctors out there will have had patients asking the same of their own missing limbs. You often will feel normal even with high blood pressure. It's often found incidentally. So don't wait until it gives you symptoms you don't want to go through. Edit. To all those wondering how to figure out if it's asymptomatic, get checked at least once a year if you're over 35. Why? There's no other way. Edit 2. Thank you for the silver and gold, kind strangers. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. You only get one body. The way you treat it has a significantly higher impact in how your health will end up in a decade than what sort of interventions we can give you. You really should treat your body like a temple. Edit. It's a saying, y'all. If you want, treat it like a family heirloom, bonsai, or your favorite china. Edit 2. The original question is asking what I wished more people knew about their body. I answered this by saying I wish they would do more to do more self-care. Advice that is easier said than done. This means keeping up with mental and physical health, eating well, exercising, and not utilizing tobacco, nicotine, drinking to an excess, or other substances. I am in no way advocating for avoiding the use of prescribed medicines or advice given to you by your own primary care provider. I'm a dentist, and if you don't take care of your gums, your teeth will fall out of your head and you'll get pee said at me when your jawbone atrophies and your denture doesn't fit anymore. Edit. Essentially, periodontitis causes inflammation and recession of the gums, which in turn cause inflammation and recession of bone. After that, teeth start getting mobile and falling out. Edit 2. I appreciate you all asking questions and trying to improve your oral health, but without doing an exam and X-rays, there's very little I can actually recommend other than using one of those new patient coupons you get from every dentist in the neighborhood to get checked out. Also, I love the dentist's RNTD0CT0RZ comments LMAO. I'll think about them when I do the 2 surgeries I have planned tomorrow. Baby doctor here. About to graduate. Unless you have liver or kidney failure, your body detoxes itself really well. Don't get scammed by these detox teas and whatever. Edit. I mean that I'm a baby cause I'm just starting out. Not that I'm a doctor of babies. Just to be clear, I won't specialize for a while yet. My mum tells her teen patients' parents a lot that the acne isn't the teen's fault but runs in the genes sometimes when it's bad. I have seen a change in attitude a bit re teen acne, but this attitude was very prevalent when I was a kid. It was too bad. It's genetic. You'll grow out of it. My parents wouldn't even take me to the doctor because they felt this way. I had horrible cystic acne and it got worse once I started my period. It really hurts a kid's self-esteem. I was a gawky, skinny kid with glasses who didn't hit puberty until quite late. Having a swollen face full of pimples wasn't fun. Injuries accumulate. I cannot stress this enough. Little kids have no business lifting heavy weights or getting pushed so hard in sports by some of these coaches who seem to have little knowledge of physiology or don't care about the long-term impact of the regimens that they only have one, and their behavior now, drinking, smoking, not taking medicines, or whatever, will impact their life quality and expectancy. Sounds logical, but very few patients really realize it. High blood pressure doesn't have symptoms majority of the time. It's called the silent killer and causes a plethora of other illnesses. Edit. I got quite a bit of replies, and I didn't think I would since I replied so late. So I feel like I should edit this. I'm not a doctor. I'm in nursing school right now. However, we've learned how bad high BP is. It's very easy to get screened and I recommend getting it done. Holy shit. This needs to be a SAR. Kids, stop getting those magnet piercings on your mouth. Every week a dozen idiots come in swallowing them. Once in a blue moon we have to take them to theater, open them up and fish them out. The issue is if they don't come out by you shitting them, there's a risk they make a hole in your bowel, fistula, and it becomes an emergency. I'm not a doctor, but as someone that works with those who may be in a psychotic break, get sleep. Most psychosis happens because someone haven't had slept or haven't had good sleep for extended periods of time. Some people just need 20 straight hours of sleep and then they never end up in a psychiatric hospital ever again. And don't just randomly stop your medication because you feel better. You feel better because you have consistent amount of whatever is leveled in your body now. And now that your body is hitting equilibrium, everything is going great. So keep doing what you're doing. I've seen people go on and off their medications for years and it really starts to mess up your body if you do that for too long. It's okay to seek treatment for your mental health. Don't feel ashamed because you were diagnosed with an illness. Seeking help is a strength, not a weakness. That psychological states may infuse bodily symptoms. In males, there is a vestigial remnant of the uterus located in the prostate. It's called the prostatic utricle. It is a duct that leads nowhere. It sometimes has some remote endometrium in it and can produce 1 drop of blood every 28 days. Source: embryology professor in med school. So yeah, guys can get PMS too. But it's probably better to call it BMS. Or premenstrual syndrome. Take care of your kidney. If your renal function is shot, it closes the door on so many options. Edit. A lot of people asked about how to take care of your kidneys. I suppose this just shows that we need to learn to take care of all parts of our body more. The most important thing is to care your cardiovascular health. Healthy arteries and healthy kidneys are strongly correlated. For most Americans, this would require an adjustment to their diet and lifestyle. Most people would also do well to increase water consumption and reduce salt intake. If you have diabetes or SLA, your kidney health pretty much determines your expectancy. So have a conversation with your doctor. Other than this, regular self-examination and health examinations can be very beneficial. Changes in urinary patterns. Bubbles in your urine that won't pop? Does your urine smell sweet? Talk to your family physician. Do you have a family history of PCKD or whatnot? Think about getting regular ultrasound examinations of your kidney every few years. Sorry, I know I'm joining late. I had to make an account. Actually a doctor. I wish people would know that when I say, I don't think CPR is in your relative's best interests. I am not saying I am going to withdraw all treatment immediately. CPR is brutal, and it has a much lower success rate, even if done promptly in hospital, than the movies make out. If you are old, or have a lot of medical problems, then the success rate goes down even more. If I don't want to do CPR on you, it's not because I want you to die. It's because I don't want to fracture your ribs. Expose your body to a huge group of people you don't know. Everyone loves attending a crash call, and repeatedly assault your dead body for nothing. I want you to die with dignity and care if there is no chance of bringing you back. In summary, CPR is great and everyone should learn how to do it. It does save lives. But, if a doctor suggests it should not be performed, please give serious thought to that. We don't suggest a DNA CPR for no reason. Not a doctor, but never flush unused medicine down the toilet or throw it in the trash. Especially not antibiotics. Hand them back into your pharmacy and they will destruct them. Drink water. Not a doctor, but I'm a trauma nurse. Motorcycles are ducking awesome, but they are also death machines. Don't ever get on a ducking motorcycle. But if you do anyway, wear a ducking helmet. Absolutely avalanched here. But your brain is an organ like any other, susceptible to disease and malfunction. When shit is going awry mentally, it is in absolutely no way different to lungs struggling with bronchitis. Your skin, biggest organ. Brain dudes, being overtaken by some weird rash. Kidneys or gallbladder pumping out stones. You get the point, I hope. If you've got a brain, then you've got mental health to look after too. Bottom line, just because the output is mainly social doesn't mean the disease disrupting your life isn't as important. Our brains are awesome but also sometimes misguided in how to preserve our well-being. Tell someone. If they don't listen, tell the next person. But the best person to talk to is always a mental health professional. If you don't cinch with them, just move on to the next on. No biggie. Your whole body will thank you for it in the long run. My friends. I wonder how many of these answers are from actual doctors. I don't know. I just play one on Reddit. Vaginas are self-cleaning and douching does more harm than good because it flushes out all the good bacteria that's meant to be there. Edit. I made this comment at 2 AM and my eyes skipped over the part where it says doctors of Reddit. Oops. I'm not a doctor, just a person with a vagina who's tired of all the unhealthy vaginal misconceptions. Also, when you go to wash down there, use soap without fragrance and clean just the outside. Your body will tell us if you have done drugs, alcohol, or tobacco in the recent past. Please don't lie about it. We don't care about the usage as much as we need to know what route of care to prepare for with prescriptions and diagnosis. Obviously not a doctor, but I work in an emergency room. We aren't going to call the cops if you're on drugs. We need to know so we don't give you medication that when mixed with said drugs will kill you. Example. If you're high on heroin, a depressant, and you're flipping out, we can't give you Ativan or Benadryl cause it can literally stop your breathing and or heart. That chest compressions and like gently kneading dough as per TV Resus. Needs to be 2-2. 5 inches deep. About 6 centimeters. Count them, it's significant and forceful. 100 per minute is the speed of the beat of staying alive. Push fast. Push hard. If you aren't getting tired after a minute, you probably aren't pushing hard enough. Frequent rotation of personnel is important, but try not to skip a single beat. We count 3, 2, 1 change. The frequency of bowel movements can range from every 3 days to 3 times per day and be considered normal. Having 3 soft stools per day does not mean you have chronic diarrhea. Not a doctor, but this information could save a life. In an emergency situation where you are giving first aid CPR to someone instead of stating general instructions to the group of inevitable onlookers like someone call 911, someone get a defibrillator point. If able, otherwise some other form of direction to someone and say you call 911 and you find a defibrillator. This prevents the bystander syndrome where people think someone else will probably do that and gives clear instructions, allowing for a more efficient process where literally seconds could mean life or death. Over-the-counter detoxes are bullshit. You have multiple organs that can detox perfectly fine if you take care of them. Sleep medicine checking in. Please sleep more. 7 hours minimum. Preferably 7. 5-8. Sleep deprivation affects damn near everything head to toe. Cardiovascular issues, mood dysfunction, dementia, cognitive slowing, and much more. I tell my patients that sleep is life. If you want a good read about this, check out Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker. Not a doctor, I'm a physician assistant. Being fat is unhealthy, no matter what body positivity people say. In terms of saving human lives, hand washing is the most important medical advance of the last 200 years. In the era of multi-drug resistant bacteria, soap and warm water still work. Take care of your feet. If you can't feel your feet, check your feet regularly to make sure they're clean, dry, and haven't started developing any sores. Even small sores, and go straight to the bone. If the infection goes to the bone, chances are we are going to cut your foot off. I have helped prep about half a dozen people just this week for foot amputations. Vaccination does not cause autism. I enjoy the body positivity stuff going on. Nobody should feel ashamed of their own body, but don't believe the hype that obesity in itself doesn't carry health risks. Not only does it increase the risk of certain diseases, but it also makes a few practical aspects of medicine difficult. It can make it difficult to get a clear ECG trace, which can cause delays during an episode of chest pain. It can make it difficult to see things on an ultrasound scan, so your scan results are often suggestive or unclear rather than definitive. Tunnel-shaped scanners, MRI-CT, can only take people of a certain diameter and weight. We've previously had to arrange for someone to be taken to a larger scanner, which delayed the emergency cauda-equina diagnosis. Surgery is also difficult on a large person. It isn't uncommon for orthopedic surgeons to deny joint replacement to anyone over a certain BMI. It makes the operation technically challenging, increases the risk of complications, and often people's joint pain improves with exercise weight loss.